So this is my third attempt making a Blitz video, or my third time, and I've been thinking about, the videos, and I've noticed I say there a lot, and don't realize that you can't see my mouse when you're watching. So I'm going to try to do better on that. I've also noticed my tactical vision is quite suspicious when trying to talk at the same time, and that I speak in monotone a lot. So we're going to work on these things. We're going to try to play a little. I'm going to try to notice things a bit more, not be so focused on just what I'm threatening, but also what my opponent might be doing. Play a little faster, because it's easy to slow down and have serious time trouble problems. This is an interesting line in the Queen's Gambit accepted with bishop g4. One of black's points is if white ever plays e4, I can take, knight d4, queen d4, bishop h2. My other big point is to try to play for e5. So I'm going to play queen e7 here. You can also play queen e8. Never really understood the differences. I don't play this opening. Maybe the knight can retreat more there, e5 and then d5. Now I'm going to stick my rook opposed to their queen. I think this is a pleasant position for black, even though, white has their normal opening advantage. You develop all your pieces, and we have a clear break to play for in e5. Am I worried about that knight? I don't know. I think I'm going to try e5. I might take on knight c5 because I can play against the queen. Yep, they sidestep. I'm curious where the queen goes. I'm going to play bishop g6. They can't play bishop d3 due to e4. I'm not quite sure where their pieces are going to go. Okay, I think I'm going to take on d4 because they have trouble taking back pawn due to the bishop on e2. So they have to take back with their pieces. I'm going to take again. And now what? I guess I'm going to play rook e8 so that on knight c5 I can just take without bishop c5 winning my rook on f8. But I don't like giving up the two bishops like this. Right? I feel like I have to play c6 now. I guess b6 was possible now that a6 wasn't hanging, and that would stop the knight coming in. So I probably didn't have to do that at all, and it was not the best decision. Now I think because my queen defends b7, I do not have to respond to that immediately, so I think I can play knight e4 and try to trade the knight off this way. My 3-on-2 on the queen side is going to be hard to activate if we trade off all the pieces, but it seems like a reasonable position. If the bishops are the last remaining minor pieces, they're both sort of directed kingside, and my pieces are more ready to get over there, so I think I'll try for kingside play. If stuff's traded off, might have a rook lift, rook e6 to g6 or h6 might be strong. So if rook e6 now, maybe they have bishop c5, which I don't think I'm too concerned about. So let's put some pressure on their king side. Idea rook g6, hit g2. It's not exactly obvious to me what white should do about this. They can offer a queen trade with queen b1, and I should certainly show disinterest in this. I'm going to come to h4. Again, rook g6 threatens now queen h3. My queen's on f2, so the king has trouble tucking away on, say, h1. Yeah. So I guess rook g6. h3 is defended. I'd like to play a bishop f8 next, just to not be too worried about d-file pins on the bishop, though my queen currently does defend it, but queens are kind of the most easily chased piece, being the most valuable. See, the Scandinavian opening or a billion others. Rook g5, does that chase their queen usefully? I think so. Their queen has no squares where it keeps h3 defended that it can go to. Now the disadvantage of this is that my queen no longer defends d8. So, a little shaky, but... no, of course it has that square. Alright, totally oblivious to that. I think I'm now going to play bishop f8. Do they have bishop f6? No. No, but I should worry about discoveries that they could make. I think I'm just going to play rook d5 and switch over to contesting the d-file. It's a nice secure square being supported by the pawn, and I didn't see anything happening on the king side. That loosens the d4 bishop. But I'd like to keep my rook on a defended square. If I come to d7, they might have bishop f6 at some point. But I went there anyway for some reason. I have to start moving faster. I'm going to play h6, just get some luft. Probably queen e6. Think about infiltration. I am not too worried about their queen's position. Make a check. Come back, and come back to e6. I can always play queen d6. Okay, lost a pawn. I'll play c5 if possible. Try to get my majority going. Come back to e7. Okay. Alright, well, I guess we got there. Interesting game. Apparently the noob remastered watched us. You can't see that because there's a picture of my face. Interesting opening though. I think, so to quickly go over what happened, because let's try to do that. Bishop g4 is an interesting idea. I have to get it before white has played bishop takes c4, because if they have, then bishop g4 is met by bishop takes f7, king f7, knight e5, forking f7 and g4. So this is not playable against the earlier e3, it's only playable against knight f3, because they'll be able to take on c4 faster. h3 early is supposed to be a good idea for white. And then this knight c6 is an odd placement, but I'm really trying to build for e5. I like a6 before bishop d6, so knight b5 can't pester it. And a6 is just a useful move to have played. Occasionally you expand with b5. And then, as I said, I don't really know queen e7 versus queen e8. I think we got a pretty normal opening position. And then here, I think I really should have played b6. Maybe not, though. But I think b6 and then something into e4 would have been a nice way to stop them getting counterplay. And because their knight can't come back to c3 due to c5 without giving up the two bishops, or he has to be worried about that. So the knight doesn't have a clear way into the game now. So I wish I'd played that. Anyways, interesting game. Let's try another. Okay, let's stick with the Rubinstein French. We've been playing that on this account, if possible. Okay. Against the... Ooh, wing gambit. No idea what I'm supposed to do here. Let's play... Can't play knight e7 because they just take. Knight c6, maybe they play b5 and that's annoying. So it'll be something kind of offbeat to do. Maybe b6. Think about bishop a6 and try to trade off their good bishop. Maybe knight h6 to f5. Alright, let's try to trade their good bishop. Oh, we just blundered queen a4. Oh my god, terrible. Yeah, so we should both give up chess forever. Because queen a4 check, grab the knight. My excuse is I'm not a French player, but they're a wing gambit player. They should know this. I think knight h4 is a useful thing to do if my knight's ever chased. Not sure what I'm going to do with all this tension over here. I think I can leave it for a while. Speaking of knight h4, don't see why I can't take that. I think I can just play g6. I don't see why not. I often want it anyway, so white doesn't have the f4, f5 break. So I think I'm just basically up a pawn. I can play c4 actually. That's an interesting move. So I'm going to come back, but maybe next turn I'll play c4 and my king will go kingside, or queenside. Because after c4 there's no breakthrough. If they play a4, I play a6, and anytime they advance I push the other pawn. So I'm going to play queen d7. And I'm going to drive the knight away. Okay, they're going for it. I mean, okay, let's take e so they don't have a check on h5. My knight comes to e6. That seems like a good square. I don't really see white's attack here. Tempted to play just knight e6 and bishop g5. Try to trade off the attacking pieces they have. Yeah, let's try to do that. I want to take back pawn because it makes an outpost on f4 maybe. The h-file is useful to me, and it sort of creates a bigger shield in front of my king. All right, they're not interested in this, but I think... I'm tempted to play like queen a4 at some point, but I think I really want to make sure my my king's solid. So I'm going to play just rook f8, king g7, maybe a6 at some point so that any advance can be easily met. Okay, so they're not sitting still. I'm tempted to play f4 because they can't really put pressure on that, and I can play h5. And I think h5 opens nice lines for me because they have no lines really. I think their king is going to be weaker than mine. I can play rook h8. I can also move the bishop and threaten rook g5. I think I'm going to play rook h8 so that if their king runs, I have rook h2. I do not understand what white was doing this game. Tempted to play rook h1. But I don't think there's any rush. So I will instead... I don't want to lose the d5 pawn. f3 doesn't seem to work yet. I could move the bishop. That's definitely something I could do. So okay, that threatens rook g5. And if they take on f4, knight takes, rook g5, they do not have rook g4 because my queen will be on it. So yeah, this does not work. They can't even interpose e6. So that's a queen. Nice. I can take this with check. Alright, let's do this the simple way and just say I'm up a piece. If they play rook f7, I'm just going to take. Yeah. Okay. We're just going to give up nothing. We're going to play bishop f6, force the rook back. We're going to play rook e8. I think bishop g5 not so great because I don't allow anything. But I'd like to play bishop g5, think about rook e3 check. Let's play g5. Why not? Because it was terrible. Oh, okay. Garbage. I guess my rook gets in though. I do not know what I'm doing here, clearly. Now we're low on time too. Ugh, terrible. Okay, I can take, check. And now this looks, okay, cleaner. Alright, well, I made that scary. I'm threatening rook h3 mate, so they kind of have to give up the exchange, and then I can remove this out pretty easily. Okay. Yeah, so too slow when talking, but other than that, I think an interesting game. If we quickly go back, I I think h4 was just kind of strange. And then I thought c4 was a neat idea. With the idea that I can just put my pawns in a6 and b6, and if white ever pushes b5, I push a5. If white ever pushes a5, I push b5. The queen side's closed. I'm going to play queen d7, castle queenside, and white has no breaks. I have to play a6 first, or white might play b5 early. But I thought that was a neat way to find safety for my king. And then here, I think they should just go back. I don't think, I'm going to castle. This was just, you don't have the f5 break. I have it covered. Now my knight's back in the game. And then I think I did a reasonable job here. And I think noticing that f4 was safe such that I could play bishop e7 was probably not the worst calculation ever. So, yeah. All right. 2-0. Can we win 3? Stick with e4. Open Sicilian. Finally get a game not against e6. Alright, so, oh, no, e6. So I can play knight b5 here. But I'm going to play knight c3. I tend to like knight c3 lines. Alright, so the 4 knights. So white has knight c6 followed by e5. White can play knight db5. There's also some tricky lines with a3 and g3 I think are worth a look. Let's test them in the main stuff. e5, knight d5, knight e4. I, of course, don't want to take and give them all the center pawns. Queen c7 is usually played to force f4. This is not usually played. c3 seems like a free move to me. I think I want to drive away the knight. If bishop b4, bishop d2, I would like to trade off their nice bishop. Alright, I'm just going to come in because you're offering me the 2 bishops, and I'm going to accept it. Now, if I went bishop d3, it's going to get harassed, so I'm just going to play bishop e2. I think I'll have time to solidify the d6 pawn pretty comfortably. They're making it non-trivial to develop, because if I move the b pawn, a1 hangs, and if I move the bishop, they can take on b2. So, how to deal with this? Maybe just rook b1. Just play rook b1 and b3. If they play bishop b7, they're going to get my bishop. But I'm going to play bishop b2 next. And I think my d6 pawn's a strength, because their knight is not a strong piece. And I would really like to chase their queen a bit. So I will. I would love rook e3 to g3. That would be my preferred. Okay, we're not going to hang mate. Because they were threatening mate on g2. Okay, I'm going to take it. Then play queen f3, hit the rook. And then probably rook d1, because queen d2 could be an annoying infiltration. And I need to defend the pawn. Knight b4 is probably best. Not actually sure what I do about that. Maybe bishop c1. Hit the queen, and then I can defend on the second rank with queen e2 or rook d2 or something. So I'm going to start that way. And I would like to start attacking c5, because I feel that is potentially weak. I guess I'm going to start with rook e2. I don't really want to play a3, because then b3 gets weak. But now I think I must, because I have queen d5 check. Maybe they can play e4 though. Good in between move. Okay, they didn't see it. Or they didn't want to play it. I don't want to let them get in. So I'm... they're going to play knight d4 though. So if I play rook e3... Alright, so they're gonna be able to get in on b3. I don't think I have a way to avoid that. Okay. I'm not really sure what to do here, so I'm gonna bring the queen. No, I want to stop knight d4. But I don't want to give up a3, but I don't see a better way to do this. And this way maybe I can grab the b file. But they had f4 actually. So maybe I should play f4. This is getting very loose, though. I'm not at all convinced of what I'm doing. I think we're not going to make it to 3 in a row. And we have to go faster. So probably e4 is coming. Okay. I guess I'll take king f2. Queen h4. What am I? I'm just getting mated. Oh, this was this was very poor. Okay. Did not keep the streak going. e4. Not e4. Alright, well, this mates too. Queen g1, rook f1, something like that. No. You should go back to h2 and play e4. If they don't mate, like if they, I mean, rook f1's also mate. So, yeah. Come on. I think they're doing the thing where they just wait it out because they have the win and they want to taunt you, but let's see. Yeah, so another thing I was noticing myself doing in my videos is I'd kind of have a narrative of each game, at least in my head, and I'd get too caught up in that and not notice other possibilities. Are they doing the checkmate with like 3 seconds left? I bet they do it at 3 seconds. That's my official prediction. Ah, 5 seconds. No, not giving a rematch. That's very poor sportsmanship. Alright, 2 out of 3. d4. Oh, the Queen's Gambit accepted led to an interesting game. So let's stick with it. So c4, dc4. Alright, they're delaying things. I'll just develop my pieces in a similar manner. I'm going to play a6, with the idea of just taking on c4 next turn if possible. Yeah. I guess I can't play b5 probably because of knight e5. It does look rather hideous. Okay, you can have your pawn back. I guess I'm going to take once. Ooh, bad position. We got my bishops. Interesting question of e4 or e3, because e3 is a very stable center. e4 a bit more aggressive, but it's not exactly clear what white should do with that big center. But I think they should throw one of those in. Alright, e4. b5, I plonk on d5. My knight's pretty good. I'd like to get my rooks to d8 and c8, so there's the question of where should my queen go. Probably a5. I'd like to consider e5 breaks, but I don't think they're worth much. Got to worry about potential bishop b6 tactics. My queen can come to h5. Now I can sort of threaten knight g4, threatening e3 and h2, so they'll probably play h3. And now e5's interesting because they can't play d5 due to cd5 opening up on their queen. They can play g4 though. And then queen g6 to e5. So maybe I should play queen g6, but then e5's not defended. So I think I have to play queen g6 though. Ugly position. So they can't play f4 because of queen g3. And I don't have e5 yet. I'm going to play h6 because I don't know what to do. And luft is almost always useful. That seems like it hangs a pawn. So back in shape. I guess I did enough of keeping some pressure on their center for this not to be just trivial for them, but I don't think I deserved that. Maybe bishop g5. Because if f4, then g3 is really weak. So like f4, I could even consider knight g3, fg5, knight e2, but I don't think 2 pawns for the exchange, or 2 pawns and a rook for 2 pieces is worth it. Alright, I'll take once. My knight does not seem greatly placed. Anything sneaky? No. I think I'm just going to get back the pawn here. On c6. So they should play queen e3, of course. My knight comes back. Then I take on c6. I take. We make some trades. Their pawn structure is a little looser than mine. I'm going to play knight d5. Bishop takes rook c1. And they have to take back there. They don't have bishop e4 as an intermezzo because rook d1 would hang. And I think they have the tempo, and that's worth something, but I think this is the tiniest of bits better for black, but should just be a draw. Unless I somehow, like, mate myself by their queen coming to the back. d4 is still loose, yeah. Should we play queen f5 and try to make it simple? I want to play queen d8 and see where they go. Okay. If rook c7, I'd have to play rook d7. Alright, this has not helped. Where are they going to go? We're low on time. Alright, I have to be playing much faster. It's tricky talking and playing fast. They can play rook c5 maybe. But all right. Okay. Did we run out of time before the move? Oh no! That sucks. Alright. Oh well. Again, tricky to talk. Sorry, I stopped talking towards the end there. Yeah. Alright. We're at 2 out of 4. Somewhat ridiculously, but let's try to get positive for the session. Alright, we're going to stick with d5, tending dc4. Alright, we have a London. We're going to play the most generic kind of antidote line. Ah. Interesting. Alright. Try to regain. Are they going to try to grab all the pawns? No. Okay, thought they were going to play queen a4. That's a weird order, because now a7's defended. Alright, I thought they were looked like they were going to play this in quite a ambitious fashion, but it seems they have not. We'll just knock you away. There's a fair chance I can take that, but why think when you don't have to? Terrible motto. Don't live by that. We're going to play b5, b4. I don't get what this player's doing. Alright, I'm going to try to take on d4, then push e3. Alright, retreat at every opportunity. That's the name of the game. Play bishop g4, so their bishop doesn't really have a natural square to come to. Queen d7, and queen g4. Or queen b5, probably queen b5. Good, now queen g4 is much better. Where is it? I don't know. Let's go to b5. Really don't know though. I like the idea of knight g4, bishop moves knight e5, coming into d3 or f3. And this way their king doesn't have a natural escape. Let's play bishop f6. I can only control one of the knight getting back into the game squares, but I think d4 is probably the scarier one. Okay, I want to keep my strong e-pawn, so I'm not going to take. Okay, I think knight d3, because if they take, I take back queen. So I can use this tempo, and then I can take on d4 and take on c1, and should be winning. Also taking on c1 will hit f1. So this is completely over. And h3, Jesus. Yeah. Okay. So got 3 out of 5. Had some time troubles, but we're trying to get faster. We're trying to be more enthused while we talk. So, yeah. Peace.